Oh, whoa, whoa, oh, whoa, 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 yeah, da, 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 da. The Pitch Perfect video is here, and I am so excited to talk about a movie that literally formed me as a child, and I had to do it in full cosplay, of course. I feel like we all have those movies when we're younger that are like core memories to us that shape us into the people we are today. And that was Pitch Perfect for me. Like, little did I know synchronized lady dancing to a Mariah Carey chart topper would change my worldview, but it did. And of course, I told you guys I was bringing this back. I'm here as Aubrey, the head Barden Bella, because I didn't want to be Becca and buy another wig. So you're gonna get this same crusty blonde wig and a little neck scarf, and I called it a day. But I did buy the pitch pipe so I could do that intro, so let's clap for that. I do want to start off by talking about how this movie came to be because it's actually really interesting. In 2008, Mickey Rapkin titled a nonfiction book titled Pitch Perfect, The Quest for Collegiate Acapella Glory, that detailed behind-the-scenes looks at real-life collegiate acapella groups from Tufts and University of Virginia. And while the movie isn't a direct adaptation of the book, it used elements from it to hone the script to make it as lifelike as possible. It was also backed by Elizabeth Banks, who was extremely interested in making this film and took it on as only the second production from her own production company, Brownstone Productions. And fun fact, one of the acapella groups that was featured in the book was actually given a cameo in the movie. And that was the Virginia Hullabaloos, and they are seen during the riff-off scene. While this movie was pushed back a few years before it actually got greenlit, in 2009, Glee came out, which actually proved there was an audience for this type of story to be told. That plus a competition show titled The Sing-Off, which actually brought us Pentatonics, that is where they were first discovered, really played a big role in studios being interested in making this movie. It gave us an aca market for acapella, and the film ended up getting greenlit because of how well some of these other shows were performing. However, with first-time feature film director Jason Moore and first-time feature film screenwriter Kay Cameron, plus a $17 million budget, this movie had its work cut out for it from the start. I will say it is important to note that Moore was in the musical theater world. He was the director of Avenue Q on Broadway, so he definitely had a good idea of how to actually direct musical numbers. So he was a great pick for a film like this. Next, I have to talk about the casting search because I think something that made this movie so extraordinary was the cast. But it wasn't easy to find all of these people that could be super funny while also being able to sing pretty well. Moore started searching for the perfect candidates. It was not just about singing, it was about being able to infuse comedy within song. Some funny casting stories were Adam Devine, who was picked out from his show Workaholics, came into his audition thinking that it was a baseball movie, so he was stretching, getting ready to do literal stunts. And then when he got into the room, found out that he had to sing, to which he responded by singing a medley of the Full House and Family Matters theme songs, and somehow got this role. To this day in interviews, he's like, I literally have no idea how I got this movie, but I'm so thankful that I did. Another interesting story is Anna Kendrick, who came in and sung the Cup song as her audition song. She saw it on YouTube, thought it was super cool, and practiced it. Everyone loved it so much they wanted to add it into the movie, and immediately upon audition, Moore knew that she was going to be our Baka! I'm literally so sorry. If you've seen the movie, you knew what I was trying to do there. I'm gonna keep this in, but like, I'm so sorry you had to hear that. Rebel Wilson auditioned with Lady Gaga's Edge of Glory and really gave the performance of a lifetime. She was so funny. Moore said in her audition that before she even left the room, they knew that she was going to be their Fat Amy, specifically because of the way that she was able to be funny while singing the song. And fun fact, Brittany Snow, who plays Chloe, actually said that Rebel Wilson improvised most of her scenes and one-liners within the film, which totally makes sense because Rebel Wilson is so funny, but like it's so crazy to know that some of our favorite quotes were just like off the cuff and improvised. And Rebel Wilson was cast 4 months prior to anyone else, which I also find interesting. The film also features Anna Camp, Brittany Snow, Ben Platt, Skylar Astin, and so many other super talented people. Once the casting was complete, all of them were sent to an ACA boot camp, an a cappella boot camp in New Orleans, Louisiana, where they were shooting the film, where they had to actually learn the art of a cappella. It was run by the father of contemporary a cappella, Deke Sharon, and it was revealed during press that almost every single member that was there cried at one point or another because it was so intense. They were doing choreographed singing and dancing for like 8 to 12 hours a day to really get everything down pat before they started to film this movie. So it was a lot of hard work, physical and mental. But it did whip everyone into shape super well because we know how it turned on screen and it looked great. So I feel like it definitely worked, but even the director didn't realize how intense it was gonna be. Now we need to talk about the plot. Of course, this movie is iconic for some of its great moments, but I think the overall plot gives us a really good arc for most of these characters. So I just want to start from the beginning. So we open up at the Collegiate National Acapella Competition. The Bard and Bellas are about to perform. And it is shown that Aubrey has her big solo moment, to which the captain of the Bellas at that time is like, do not mess this up. To which Aubrey responds, I won't disappoint you. My dad always says, if you're not here to win, get the hell out of Kuwait. They go on stage and begin singing their rendition of The Sign by Ace of Base. When Aubrey gets to her big solo, she projectile vomits everywhere. Cookie crumbs here, folks. People are running, yelling, screaming, and we know that did not end well for the Bard and Bellas. We fast forward to present day. Freshman Becca Moore is getting dropped off in her dorm by her father. She's beginning her new life, but it is very clear that she wants to be a DJ. She does not want to be taking classes at Barden University. She wants to be in LA mixing and mastering with the best. But as she's wandering campus and seeing all of the clubs and activities she could join, she stumbles upon Aubrey and Chloe, the remaining two members of the Bard and Bellas after Vomitgate last year. Becca is not interested at first.
It's pretty lame. Excuse me?
But we do get introduced to the best singer in Tasmania with teeth, Fat Amy, who does a little bit of mermaid dancing for the girls and really impresses them, if I do say so myself. It isn't until Becca is caught singing Titanium by David Guetta and Sia in the community bathroom.
That song is my jam. My lady jam.
That's nice.
That she actually starts to think about this Bard and Bellas thing. However, she does feel weird because Chloe did enter her shower naked.
You take your aim.
You can sing. Do.
But they did have some stunning harmonies.
Fire away, fire away.
We cut to the tryout scene. This is my favorite scene in all of Pitch Perfect, all three movies. I love this so much. Zoom, 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 zoom. Dum 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 dum. Here's the thing, we started out friends. Okay, that was like so stunning of me. Anyway.
Whenever you're ready, dude.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Cynthia Rose.
Oh, not a dude.
This went triple platinum in my family home. I play this all the time. I know every single part to it, including the dialogue that comes in between these singing sequences.
Oh, there's no backup dancers? Okay.
And everyone else has finished their audition, but Becca's nowhere to be seen except, oh, what's that? Becca strolls in a little bit late. Aubrey is not having it. She's like, okay, she was late. She doesn't get to audition. Chloe's like, wait, let's just let her sing. She empties out the cup on the desk full of pens. She heads to the stage and hits us with a, I got my ticket for a long way round. A little cup song, and blows everyone away.
You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, I know you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
And let me just say, it's not that impressive to do the cup song, but it had us all in a chokehold. Like, I was in middle school with my water bottle, like every single day, cup songing. And I don't know what it was about it, but it was just kind of everything to us at the time. That is what cements her as a Bella, despite Aubrey not being happy about it. So we have our new girls. Fat Amy, Lily, who has gills like a fish, Stacy, whose hobbies include cuticle care and the E! Network, Cynthia Rose, Denise, and two members who are kicked off the team because they were #troubleboned, Mary Elise and Corey, rest in peace, girls. The Bellas do their first performance at a frat mixer that was horrendous. Chloe's voice doesn't sound Aguilarian at all. And Aubrey is told by Howie, one of the frat guys, that the new Bellas look like a barnyard explosion.
Well, I hope you all remember the way you feel right now so you will never want to feel this way again. Chloe, your voice didn't sound Aguilarian at all.
And afterwards, we get a really emotional confession from Chloe after Aubrey confronts her about her voice. She says she has nodes. The rubbing together of your vocal cords at above average rates without proper lubrication. They sit on your windpipe and they crush your dreams. And they were crushing Chloe's dreams in that moment because she was honestly the only one that could have brought this performance back together, but she couldn't. Initiation with the Bellas has now taken place, and there is one rule. We've already seen it happen with some hashtag trouble-boned girls getting kicked out of the Bellas, but you are not allowed to sleep with the enemy. No fraternizing with the reigning national championship holding male a cappella group, most of whom are sexually confused, the Troublemakers, or the Troublemakers. If you've seen the other movies, you knew what I was trying to do there. Then we begin the riff-off, which has become one of the most iconic moments in Pitch Perfect history. Basically, it is a game where you have to sing against the other a cappella groups on campus. There's a category, and you must sing songs within it. Each team will play off one another. So the ending word of one sentence has to be the starting of another if someone tries to come in and steal. During this time, Fat Amy is wearing the Orthodox Jew ponytail. Very reserved in the front, but party in the back. The competition is super, super stiff, and we are left with the Bellas versus the Troublemakers in the final round. Becca stuns with her rendition of No Diggity.
It's going down. Fade to black. With the homies got Abby Collab Creations. Bump like acne, no doubt.
She just takes one for the team and goes in on this song. But the Bellas lose on a technicality because her word to start with was it. And she started with it's going down, fade to black. Aubrey, of course, is super upset about it, but Chloe's like, wait, we kind of killed it and we lost on a technicality, which again shows there's a power struggle going on right now between Aubrey, the old Barden Bella captain and president. She loves doing things, the traditional way. And then there's Becca, who is this new blood, this fresh girl with some ideas who is a music producer and wants to breathe life into this club. But Aubrey's not letting her thrive like that. And we will continue to see this struggle play out the rest of the movie. Fast forward to our first competition. Aubrey at this point is dictator supreme, like she is not having it with these other girls. She's gone into drill sergeant mode. And it is very clear that she is going the traditional route, doing the same medley that they lost nationals with the year prior. They're lulling the audience to sleep, and the only thing they change is Fat Amy is given the turn the beat around solo, and her spirited performance is the only thing that gets them in second place. They almost lost to the Sockapellas, who did a rendition of Lily Allen's FU with sock puppets singing the song. And honestly, I would have given it to the Sockapellas. Sorry girls, they just weren't good, and it was very clear that the judges and everyone in that auditorium was not having it. But since they came in top 2, they get to move on to regionals. This is where the infamous burrito attack happens at the gas station. Fat Amy is filling up the Bella's bus, to which the Troublemakers are passing them on the road. They open the window and throw a burrito at Fat Amy. She has a little bit of sauce right behind her ear, but she doesn't want to get it because it fuels her hate fire. And they end up not getting gas because Fat Amy forgets after she gets hit with the flying Mexican food, so their bus breaks down on the way to regionals.
Excuse me?
I can't believe it.
They have to call on the Troublemakers to come pick them up and drive them to the competition, which honestly nobody is happy about. And as the Bellas are performing the same 3 songs that they've been doing for years and years and years, Becca notices that everyone in the audience is asleep. They are drinking decaf coffee, they DGAF about the Barden Bellas. She decides to take matters into her own hands and throw a little Bulletproof by La Rue into the mashup. This causes a stir because they actually end up losing and coming in 3rd place behind the Troublemakers and the Footnotes, who sung Blame It on the Boogie, and they were so good. So I don't blame them. Whether or not Becca did anything in that auditorium, they were gonna lose no matter what, but Aubrey does not feel that way. She thinks Becca ruined everything. And after a little chastising, a fight breaks out in the auditorium lobby that leads Becca to jail. She gets arrested because, she breaks a window. And this is not a main plot point whatsoever, but it is important in the her and Jesse canon because Jesse helps her get bailed out by her dad, and Becca's like, I don't need any help. But she kind of does, because who else is going to bail her out because she has no money? Anyway, the Bellas lose their sound, Becca's kicked out, and it's spring break. So Becca's working at the radio station, everyone's just kind of like, okay, our season's over, and Aubrey and Chloe are super upset because it was their senior year. But magician Benji, aka Ben Platt, finds out a little bit of a secret. The lead singer of the Footnotes was a high schooler, violating college a cappella rules, therefore the Footnotes have been disqualified from nationals. So the Bellas take their spot and they are headed to the Kennedy Center to perform for the second straight year. But back at Barton University, tensions are high. Chloe is done with her bestie Aubrey's shit. She's like, listen, we suck and we need to figure something out because I am not getting on that stage and doing the same 3 songs over and over and over again that we've been doing because we're just gonna embarrass ourselves. And to that, Aubrey says, this time I'm not gonna choke it down, and projectile vomits around all of the other girls while they're in this huge fight. And it all ends when Miss Pitchpipe falls in the vomit. They all realize that this has gone too far and they know what they need to do. They need to call Becca. They do have a little bit of a come to Jesus moment where they confess some things about each other. Cynthia Rose said that she has a crippling gambling addiction. That all started when she broke up with her girlfriend. Whoop, there it is. And Fat Amy's real name is Fat Patricia.
And my real name is Fat Patricia.
Becca reveals that she loves all of the girls. She is welcomed back in with open arms. And then they have to reinvent the Bella sound. We get the iconic Bruno Mars X Just the Way You Are mashup.
Bruno Mars, just the way you are.
To work on their harmony and synergy.
When I see you travel back down that road, won't you come back? No one knows.
And that is where we find out that Chloe got the node surgery over the break. So now she can sing the notes of a male, which is really important in an all-girls a cappella group. She can hit notes that they've never been able to hit before.
1, 2,
They head to the Kennedy Center. It is nationals. And the Bellas have a little bit of a new look. They've gotten rid of the uptightness. Even Aubrey has let her hair down for this performance. And let her hair down, did she, because they deliver such a stunning performance here. It is a medley of Jessie J's Price Tag, Don't You Forget About Me from the Breakfast Club, Give Me Everything by Pitbull, Party in USA by Miley Cyrus, and Turn the Beat Around. The clothes are upgraded, there's new dance moves, there's new harmonies, and the attitudes, they're fierce. These are the Bellas of the new age. And you wanna know what? They win with this performance. In a shocking upset over the Troublemakers, the Bellas have prevailed and the movie ends with a stunning kiss between Becca and Jessie. I do want to talk about some of the best moments because there are so many amazing moments from this movie. Some of which I already mentioned in the plot, some of which are just like one-liners and funny things. So instead of me just explaining them, I'm going to just give you a compilation of some of my favorites. But definitely comment down below what your favorite moments from this movie are.
Hands off the booty!
And the Sacapellas once again proving that it doesn't get better for everyone after high school.
Yeah, it's like when my lady doctor told me not to have sex for 6 weeks, and I did it anyway.
You should really listen to your doctor.
All right, I'm gonna go get a drink. This ginger needs her jiggle juice. See you later.
I thought of a new name for this hairstyle. It's called the Orthodox Jew ponytail.
Oh, yeah?
Because it's very reserved
I
at the
see
front,
that.
but party in the back.
An incorrect
I
feeling.
sometimes have a feeling I can do crystal meth, but then I think, better not.
Yeah.
I can let go! This time I'm not gonna choke it down!
Chloe, could you please get your head out of your ass? It's not a hat.
Okay, awkward.
And from an all-female group, Gail, I could never have called this one.
Never. Well, you are a misogynist at heart, so there's no way you would have bet on these girls to win.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, don't put me down for cardio.
1, 2, 1, 2, Amy! What are you doing?
I'm doing horizontal running.
Horizontal running.
That's not a real word, but keep trying. You will get there.
Also, I did have to repin my hair because I wasn't sure if it was hitting my microphone. So if the audio was like a little scratchy because of that, I'm sorry. before I go into the pop cultural implications of this movie, I really needed to make sure you guys could hear me clearly. With only $17 million budget, this film completely overperformed, grossing over $115 million at the box office and spawning 2 sequels. And honestly, maybe 3, because Pitch Perfect 4 is something that has been thrown around in the media the last few years. Even though there's no confirmation, it is still something that all of the actors have said that they would come back to do. It had an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 7.1 on IMDb, and it was pretty acclaimed by critics for how campy and fun it was, and audiences loved this movie. It kind of has been cemented in pop culture history because of the memes, the songs. I mean, I know so many people today that still will put on the Pitch Perfect soundtrack on a road trip or with their families, so it definitely had a huge impact on so many people's, but specifically our generation. Weirdly, a lot of dads love this movie, mine included. I think it honestly was because of like John and Gail's dynamic. When they were talking about making this movie to begin with, they knew their demographic was going to be high school girls, people who like a cappella, 40-year-old gay men, and that was kind of it. But the fact that it became a family classic, I think is crazy, because that is something that no one could have predicted. They didn't really need the current heavy hitters in comedy, specifically in movies at that time, to do really well. Like Amy Schumer was nowhere to be found. Kristen Wiig, while she was originally cast in Gail's role, she had to drop out due to scheduling conflicts, and that is when Elizabeth Banks stepped in. I think she knocked this role out of the park, but she did not want to act in it originally, which I think is really interesting. It was the top album seller of 2013, selling almost 2 million copies worldwide. Again, the music had such a big impact on the success. I think people started to hear some of these songs on the radio, see them online, and were like, what could this possibly be from? Specifically with Cups, it did chart on the Billboard Hot 100. It was a top 10 song, peaking at number 6. It was number 1 on the adult contemporary charts as well, but again, as I told you, I was in middle school every day with my water bottle hitting the Cup song. And it skyrocketed all of these people into household names, specifically like a Rebel Wilson or maybe an Anna Kendrick, who had so much success earlier in her career, but for our generation, we didn't really know her that well. So I think Pitch Perfect really did a good job of putting a lot of these people on the map for younger generations, but also invigorating a lot of careers and giving people so many opportunities. Another thing I really want to point out is it had a lot of profound effects on the a cappella industry as a whole. Like the following year at the International Championship of Collegiate A Cappella, there were 10 times the amount of groups that signed up than the year prior, and it sold more tickets than it ever had, which, like, Pitch Perfect's impact is crazy when you see that it actually impacted real life a cappella groups. Pop culturally, everyone was talking about it. It even got like the Green Bay Packers involved. That is why they had their cameo in the sequel, because one of the players actually DM'd a scene to Elizabeth Banks and was like, wait, I love this movie so much, like great job. And they invited them to come do their riff-off scene for the second movie. All because of that. Like I said, with the success of the original movie, Pitch Perfect 2 was kind of a no-brainer.
I got all I need when I got you and I. Yes, I look around me and see a sweet light.
They started having talks, according to Rebel Wilson and Adam Devine, a few months after the first movie was put into theaters, but it officially got picked up for a sequel on April 16th, 2013, which was less than a year after the movie had come out, with most of the cast confirming their return pretty shortly after that. And Pitch Perfect 2, I thought was great. It did not do as well commercially or critically. I think that it still holds up, but where we really lose the plot is Pitch Perfect 3, and I don't know, like, I just think it was not the most ideal movie. I think they were really trying to get everyone back in one place, which totally makes sense, but it missed the mark for me specifically, but the songs are always gonna hit. And Pitch Perfect 4, seriously, I still have no idea what's gonna happen with that. I am interested to see if they decide to take it anywhere, because Pitch Perfect 3 kind of flopped, so I don't know what would happen if Pitch Perfect 4 came out. I don't know if they could bet on a success. But we'll see, I guess, especially in a world where I think all we see are remakes and revivals. It would kind of make sense and be on par with the trend in film and TV, but who knows? That is the Pitch Perfect video. I hope you guys really liked this. I had to do cosplay, of course, but I was really excited to deep dive this movie and talk about my relationship with it and how it really impacted pop culture. Let me know your favorite moment from the film. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. I hope you guys liked this cosplay. I really loved doing this. So let me know anything you want in the comments. Honestly, I'll be responding. But have a great week. Love you guys, and stay tuned for a really fun one next week.